Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we shall travel from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from death to immortality. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, so today we'll be discussing one more new topic almost. In the previous class, while discussing few verses of Drishya Viveka, we saw our real nature, our essential nature, our true nature is what? Asti Bhati Priyam. Asti is existence, Priyam is dearness, Bhati is what? The light. The same idea has been explained by Upanishads with different terminologies. That is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. Or Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Truth, auspiciousness, and what you say, Sundaram is beauty. Same thing. Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Truth, knowledge, and Ananta, infinity. That is what the Brahman is. Though it appears that different words, but all of them, enforce or explains the same truth, the real nature of oneself. Now, what is the nature of this world? The nature of the world is nothing but Nama and Rupa. It is mere name and form. That's what we saw in the previous class. And that same idea has been explained further by the method of agreement and by method of difference. This is a way of understanding or explaining the things in the philosophy. Here, logic has been used. What do you mean by method of agreement and method of difference? Now, there are 5 people. Among the 5 people, we would like to know who are ours and who are not ours, who don't belong to us. But we don't know exactly. And we can't ask them straight away, do you belong to us? Or do you go with us, or do you want to go with us? It is not possible to ask. In that situation, we can devise a plan where I give a thought, or I give my stand. Okay, we shall do this. We shall not do this. The moment when I say 3 people will raise their hands, yes, whatever you say, we go for it. We believe in it. Then the 2 say, no, we don't believe in it. So this is what, of course, in very layman's language or in a very simple way I'm explaining. So this is what I mean, method of agreement and method of difference. So the 3 people are agreeing my views and the other 2 are not agreeing and they are differing. So this can be known as method of agreement and difference. Ka Vayu Agni Jala Arvishu Devatiryenga Naradishu Abhinnaha Sachidanandaha Vidyate Rupanamni. What does it mean? The attributes of existence, consciousness, and bliss are equally present in the space, air, fire, water, and earth, as well as in demigods or gods and goddesses, and animals, human beings. But names and forms make differ one from another. What a beautiful idea. So let us try to understand. Now, what is the difference between one person to another person? Because they have got different bodies. The moment when we say they have got different bodies, how do we explain? We say that because both of them have got different mass, or different matter, or different forms. So both have got different forms and they have got different names too. That's why there are two people. Means the two people are different. Why? Because they have got two forms, the two names, or two it things like we think like there are two objects actually. Again, either you say object or people or whatever, there's got two names and two forms. Now, is there any commonality between the two people? Yes. As human being, they are two are common. But because of their name and form, the two are different. This is what method of agreement and method of difference. So basically, we distinguish one object from another from name and from form. For example, wooden table, wooden chair, then wooden desk, wooden blackboard. There is a commonality between all that, among all them, that is what wood. And but still, we for our day-to-day transactions, all of them are separate. Wooden table is different from wooden chair. Wooden chair is different from wooden desk. Wooden desk is separate from wooden blackboard. Why? They've got different forms, different shapes. They've got different names, and they've got different functionalities. But there is a common factor among all the four, that is what wood. Now, the Vedanta is trying to tell, just like the wood is common without all the four furnitures, so similarly, the Brahman is common in everything, only the name and form. Just like wooden in the wooden furnitures, the name and forms are different. So similarly, we perceive two different objects, different things with respect to name and form. The underlying principle, underlying truth is what the self or the Brahman, that is, it is true and it is real. So basically, we would like to know the real purport or the real substance of everything. That is what the author is trying to tell. And one thing we should understand, according to the Vedanta, the self is only one. Then there are so many beings. Everyone has got selves, isn't it? Yes, but we have got different reflecting mediums. Probably if you remember my earlier talks, like there is only one sun for our solar system. And there are 100 mirrors if we keep, then 100 reflections we may find. 100 reflection of suns or 100 reflection of moons, but there is only one sun and only one moon for our solar system, especially for the earth. For the earth, only one sun. So for whole entire solar system, only one sun, and for our earth planet, there is only one moon. But if you keep 100 mirrors, there can be seen 100 moons, but there is only one moon. So similarly, there are so many individual beings because the body, we feel that there are so many multiplicity of souls we feel, but otherwise there is only one self. But whereas Sankhya and dualistic philosophies, they say, no, it is not so. There are multiplicity of souls in it. So now Advaita Vedanta is telling that there is only one self, but there are a number of different beings because of different reflecting mediums. And the author is trying to tell, for an example, there are celestial beings, gods and goddesses, and there are human beings, then there are animals, birds, mammals, reptiles, all of them. So one is celestial beings, the other is human beings, the third is animals. Now, what is the common factor among all the three? Among all the three, if you see, everyone is being. Otherwise, everyone, among all the three, there is a one commonality, that is Satchidananda, or the self, or the consciousness. But all of them are one and the same. Yes, they are one and the same from the point of self or consciousness, from pure awareness, but they are different from the point of name and form. Why? Because the animal's form is different. Tiger form is different from lion. The form of lion is different from crocodile. The crocodile form is different from eagle. The eagle's form is different from pigeon. Similarly, human beings. For example, Irish person and Indian and African or US person, they don't look alike. though human beings, but we have got different looking. But every one of us, we are human beings. As human being, we are all one, but because of different bodies and different appearances, we are all different. That's what the author is trying to tell. But as the truth, there is only one. Because of the name and form, it appears different things. So we are getting confused. What is reality and what is appearance? The truth is only one, that self. But because of name and form, there are so many different types or different people or different varieties we feel. But we are always obsessed with that name and form, and we are missing the true core, which is nothing but the self or consciousness. Similarly, I gave an example: wooden table, wooden chair, wooden desk, wooden blackboard. So we are always obsessed with its function, its name, its forms, its shapes, and we are always busy in that, and we miss that there is a common object with among all that, that is a wood. The moment the wood is removed, all the four things ceases to exist. So the author is trying to make us to go to the source. So see that the wood is appearing as table, the wood is appearing as chair, the wood is appearing as desk, the wood is appearing as blackboard. How can you say that it is appearance? Because we are able to perceive, because our perception is there. Yes, my dear, but the moment you remove the, what do you say, wood, what happens? Nothing exists there. That's why wood is appearing as table or chair, that author is trying to tell. So we are mixing the truth with the name and form. That's why we are struggling and we are suffering. Why the world is becoming true, so true for us? Why the objects have become so true for us? Because we are obsessed with the name and form, and we are gone holding onto the name and form other than the original substance or the content. If you go to goldsmith shop, you take three or four varieties of ornaments and you want to sell. You may be liking particular ornament, so that's why you expect, or you may say that you should give more money for this. But the goldsmith say, no, I will give less money for that. The other thing which you didn't like, I will give more money there for that. Why? Because it contains more amount of gold than the other. So I am always obsessed with the color or of the form, or the maybe because I like bangles, so I was obsessed with the bangle name and shape and function. But the goldsmith says that that's maybe, but because the necklace has got more amount of gold, I like it, so I pay more money for that than the bangle. So we're always obsessed with the name and form and the functional aspect, but we are not bothered about, we are not giving our attention to the original source, the gold. That's where we are losing the track. Now, the one big question may come, Swamiji, all these things are okay. By doing this, what I'm going to get, you tell me. By doing all this mental gymnasium and intellectual gymnasium, you will try to find out the truth, and you will be able to hold on to the truth. The moment when you are able to hold on to the truth, then in the world, whatever the things may come, that will not shake you. That is the beauty of Advaita Vedanta. So whether you hold on to wood or wooden table or the name and form, it doesn't matter probably externally, but slowly, when you go to inside, that the whole world is made up of, the whole world is nothing but the self, and only the name and form or appearance. When we say that, then there's a lot of difference. But we are obsessed with the name and form, and we are struggling. So here we are mixing the self with the name and form. That is what called aviveka. That is called ignorance. That is the root cause for our samsara, for our ignorance, for our birth and death. The moment we separate both of them, the self and the name and form, and hold on to self, and just do the name and form as a transactional reality, Vyavaharika Satya, then you'll be able to realize the truth. Then you'll be a realized person, or you'll be free person. The ignorance will be removed. That's what very important. Now, following this method of agreement and difference, that Sat Chit Ananda has been understood. Why? Because that Sat Chit Ananda exists in everything. The whole world is made up of what? Five elements. What is ether? That is space. Then water, fire, air, that is wind, and the earth. So, what is the common thing in all the five things? The self or the consciousness, pure awareness, existence, and the bliss or the ananda or priyam here. That is common with all these five these things, but it has got some name and form. Now, air has got name and form, water has got name and form, and earth has got name and form. I mean, again, fire has got name and form. So we're all again obsessed with the name and form and its functional aspects. But it is made up of what? Or it is something is appearing as something, means the self is the consciousness is appearing as all these five elements, but we are missing the fact. The moment when we hold on to the truth, then all these things will be appearing. Probably I'll give one more example. We went to a picnic, we 10 friends, and one more friend and myself, we didn't like to get into the water. So both of us, we are sitting on the bank of the river. Then our rest of the friends, 8 people, they went inside. They went inside the water and they're gone playing. And they're enjoying the water. And we, the 2 people, are sitting on the bank of the river and we are witnessing their joy. They were enjoying the water, they were splashing each other, they were swimming across, and they were feeling that, oh, you guys, you are missing a lot, fun, why don't you come and all. Then suddenly, a crocodile, the crocodile appears. Means they are able to see a crocodile. And they're in the mid of the water, mid of the river. Now you can very well imagine what will happen. Will they say that, oh, water is so nice, we can play in the water, we can play in the river? They say no. Immediately they jump or they start swimming fast. Why? Because they want to save their life. Then somehow they save their life and they come back to they were able to swim across with God's grace, and they came running with the full of gasping, with full of tension, stress, all these things. Some of them said, oh, my dear, both of you did right thing with not coming into water. Why? Because otherwise you would have become the food for the crocodiles. You people, you were very safe. See, these are the 8 people who were enjoying in the water. And now the 8 people felt that you 2 people are right because you didn't come into water. You never had any problem. If with God's grace we came out, otherwise some of us would have been the food for the crocodile. The same people enjoyed in the water, and afterwards now they're saying that we going into the water was not right because of the situation, whatever it may be. So they enjoyed, and now they're feeling suffering, stress or whatever. The 2 people who are on the bank, they never enjoyed, they never suffered. Rather, they were witnessing others enjoying and suffering. When someone was enjoying, they were witnessing their joy, and also they witnessed their suffering. So there was no change in these 2 people, but whatever the changes happened in that 8 people. Now, this is external. The same thing when it happens to me, can I be the witness? This is what important. That's what Advaita Vedanta is trying to teach us. You be the witness, and you are the witness actually. I am the witness, you are the witness. Sakshi, seer 3, if you remember my earlier classes of Drik, Drishya, Viveka. 3 types of seer. We are the seer 3, Sakshi, witness. The moment when we can hold on to it and when we can practice it, what happens? Is it not the state of blankness? Is it because we don't enjoy? We say, you may feel that, no, but it's the state of experience of bliss, unalloyed bliss. It's a beautiful state. We are so much, obsessed with the dualities, joy, sorrow, and all these dualities. Without that, we feel life is bored. I think I keeps on telling this joke that one in India, when I went to address youth group, quite a number of were there. After the talk, when a youngster got up and said, Swami, I feel very sorry for you. I said, thank you, my dear. Kindly let me know, why do you feel sorry? He said, because Swami, we have got option in wearing clothes. I mean, in different type, of course, not in wearing clothes, in wearing different type of clothes. Today I wear red color, tomorrow I will wear blue, then I'll black, then pink or whatever. but you people have got same color of clothes, same set of clothes. Every day you should wear. You don't have even option with your clothes, variety of clothes. I feel very sorry. Then I said, thank you, but I feel very sorry for you. Why? Because the life is so beautiful, you can enjoy, but you are simply wasting for this worldly things or worldly dualities. Of course, he didn't understand. I am very sure that. Now you see, we are so much obsessed with the dualities. We feel that if the dualities doesn't exist, then it is a state of blankness. It is just like living like a rock or living like an inert object. What is the use? Oh my dear, Brahman is this. Then better we will not go to make an venture to get into this Brahman or hold on to Brahman. No, it is with a state of bliss, happiness, eternal bliss. Not one time or one moment. It is a state of unalloyed bliss. Now, after said all these things, we understand. Many devotees say, Swami, when we hear the talk, your talk, we feel so happy. We feel that at least at that time we are self and we are not the body, we are not the mind, etc., etc. But once the talk is over and when we get back to our life, again all our problems starts. One message, one phone call, or one incident is enough for us to disturb our mind. For some, it may take some long time, for some time immediately or whatever. How to control this? How to stop this? And why it is happening like this? If you ask why, intellectually, we know that now we are the self, I am the self, not the body and mind, but that has not become the matter of experience. That's why still that ignorance is there. That's why when the moment when things come, immediately we get disturbed and we start reacting. That is what internalization of the knowledge. The knowledge has to be put into practice. The knowledge has to be realized. For an example, atomic theory. Atom has contains protons, neutrons, electrons, all these things we speak. We hear, we might have written in exams a few pages about these theories, atomic theories, different theories. But have we seen that atom? Have we seen through the maybe a microscope or telescope or whatever the instrument? Have we seen the neutron? Have we seen the electron? We have not seen. Only we believe in the scientist words and we are going it, but we have not seen. When we see it, when we experience it through the instruments, probably our way of understanding will be totally different. Our exposure, our thinking can change. So similarly, there it has become the matter of experience, the atomic theory. So similarly, this Vedantic knowledge also should be the matter of experience. Then whatever things may come and go will not getting disturbed. For that, what is the way out? Okay, Swami, it has to be now the knowledge has to be internalized, knowledge has to be experienced. It should be a matter of experience, you are saying that fine. Then what is the way out? What is the means to achieve that? If you ask, the Advaita Vedanta says Shravana, hearing, Manana, reflection, Nididhyasana, contemplation or meditation. So for some, they are very good people, already they have got enough maturity. So they heard that, oh, you are that Brahman, Tattvamasi, Aham Asmi Brahma, Aham Brahma Asmi. I am that self. When people, few advanced people, in spiritually advanced people, when they hear simply, then they are able to experience. In Sri Ramakrishna's case, we saw his Guru Totapuri, 40 years it took for him to experience Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But in Sri Ramakrishna, in no time, when he got initiated into this monasticism, when he heard that Mahavakya, Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi, he experienced it. Why? Because he was one of the rarest spiritual advanced person. Even in our Upanishad comes, Uddalaka, father to son, he tells to his disciple and as well as the son Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, 9 times. O Shvetaketu, you are that. O Shvetaketu, you are that. 9 times he heard. He said, Uddalaka, Shvetaketu, when 9th time he heard, he experienced it, understood and experienced, and he said, Ahamasmi Brahma, yes, I am the truth. Now, in our case, probably 900 times, 9,000 times, 900,000 times we hear, we can't understand or we can't experience because we have not evolved spiritually. Then the author, the scripture says, then you go to Manana. Whatever you have heard about the nature of the Brahman, what is Sat, what is Chit, what is Ananda, or what is Asti, Bhati, Priyam, or what is that Sakshi. So you try to try to reflect that ideas time and again, just like the cow does cutting. It simply it swallows the food fodder and again it takes back, it brings back into mouth and it chews and again it takes it back. It has got two stomach, they say. So similarly, you hear some Vedantic ideas or the ideas on the self, then you keep on thinking time and again, what is that? It is a Nitya, it is eternal, and Shuddha, it is pure, it is Buddha, it is enlightened. Then it is Sanatana, it is ancient, it is Avinashi, indestructible. So what does it mean? We can keep on thinking on this. When some people keep on thinking for a few moments or few hours or for few days or few months, they're able to experience. Then for some, it is not possible. Then they have to do nididhyasana, contemplation. They have to do Vedantic meditation. So what is that Vedantic meditation? How to do this? This is what samadhi, concentration or contemplation, that was explained in the 22nd verse. Let us try to see. उपेक्ष्य नामरूपे द्वे सच्चिदानंद तत्परः समाधिं सर्वदा कुर्याद हृदयो वा अथवा बहिः. So there are two types of meditation the author is trying to tell. So what are the two types of meditation? So what is the meaning of this? Having become indifferent to name and form, being devoted to Sachidananda oneself, one should always practice concentration either within the heart or outside. We know that name and form is only appearance. Name and form is not real. So having that firm conviction, one should start meditating, contemplating on the nature of the Brahman, on the nature of the self. One should practice concentration, either externally or internally. So the author is telling that he's trying to tell us that contemplation can be done in a two ways. One is external meditation, the other is internal meditation. So what is external meditation? What is internal meditation? Let us try to see. So till previous verse 21 till, then he was discussing the topic. What is the cause and remedy for samsara? What is the cause and remedy for our birth and death, cycle of birth and death? What is that? Satya, Mithya, Aviveka. The confusion between the reality and the appearance. We have mixed the reality and the appearance, and that's why we are suffering and we are taking time and again birth and death. This is what our cause. This is our problem. Then what is the solution? What is the remedy? Satya, Mithya, Viveka. Separate the reality and unreality. Understand what is real and what is appearance. That is the remedy for the come out from the samsara, that is the ignorance or the transmigration of soul or cycle of birth and death. So from 22nd verse onwards till 31st verse, I think, he takes the different topic. What is that different topic? He is telling that hold on to oneself. If you remember in the earliest sloka, in the first sloka itself, three types of seer he told. And afterwards, he started explaining what is seer 1, what is the seer 2, what is seer 3. And he said, we are seer 3, that is witness, sakshi. The seer 1 is what? Sense organs. The seer number 2 is what? Mind. Seer 3 is what? Self. So body and mind and sense organs. We are not seer number 1 and seer 2. They are only instruments for the of perception, but we are number seer 3. Seer 3, that is what? Sakshi, our witness. But when we are hearing all these things, you are Sakshi, I am Sakshi, you are Atman, I am Atman, you are Brahman, I am Brahman. When we hear consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly, we will be thinking, okay, there is somewhere Sakshi, okay, there is somewhere Brahman, there is somewhere Atman as an object, as an entity, and I am trying to perceive, I am trying to imagine, I am trying to understand. Why? Because the nature of the mind is always it can think only with the name and form. It objectifies everything. Even you see any subtle concepts, we try to objectify, we start visualize without either it is a external objects or our own internal objectification, but mind objectifies everything. So similarly, when we hear the word Atman, Brahman, self, existence, consciousness, bliss, and all, it tries to think in a in a objectified form. Okay, Sat, existence, everywhere it is there. Maybe in the form of light, in the form of viator, in the form of space or something. Similarly, with the case of Chit and Ananda. So I and Atman is separate. I and Sakshi is separate. That's how our perception is. So now this is one of the unique method which is seen only in the Drishya Viveka text alone, nowhere else. The author is trying to tell that. So it is not that when something is Brahman, you are that Brahman and you are that only. There is no difference between you and Brahman. So you should understand that. So when you say Sat, Chit, Ananda, self is existence, self is consciousness, self is bliss, absolute. Or Sakshi here. Sakshi is Asti, existence. Bhati, it is knowledge or awareness or light. Then Priyam, it is dearness. So there are the three different realities. No, you are that reality. I am the Sakshi. I am the witness. And I am the nature of eternal consciousness, eternal awareness, eternal dearness, or eternal light. So there is no difference between me and light. There is no difference between me and existence. I am that all that. That is the beauty in the beautiful way the author is trying to tell. So let us try to understand. So this is what understanding rational mind that has to be put into practice, that has to be internalized. When internalized happens, when it becomes experience, what happens? Then your emotional mind accepts. See, many times we know that. So, for an example, God is the ultimate reality. When you take shelter at His feet, then our life is taken care. We know the truth, but our ego doesn't allow that. That's all fine, but I think I can do something. I am all these things will be able to do. Intellectually, I got convinced, but in the heart of heart, I am not yet convinced. Emotional mind, we say, in the heart or in the emotions, it has not been convinced, it has not been experienced. When it happens, when we get tight slaps couple of times, then we understand and we experience and we say, yes, God is ultimate reality. So similarly, regarding with self also, with Sakshi and so much we hear, and we always see that as an external object or an external entity, as a something else other than me. No, it should be internalized and we should start feeling that I am that seer number three. I am that Sakshi. I am that witness. Once you start feeling and you start experiencing strongly, then nothing can shake you in the world. You can be happiest person, peaceful person at the given circumstances and situations. So what we understand and what we put into practice, there's a difference with the most of us. Only with realized people, it is common. What they understand and what their experience and what their conduct, it is all same. So that has to be done. How does internalization of the knowledge, that is, it is very important. How it is possible? It is through samadhi. Here, samadhi means it is nididhyasana, that is contemplation, meditation. So here it is Vedantic contemplation, Vedantic meditation. So here we are internalizing our understanding. We are trying to put into our understanding has been put into practice, or our understanding has to be experienced. That is what I used to say. For example, you should remember that the atomic theory. You might have read the atomic theory, but you have never seen atom yourself. With the help of instruments, with the help of scientists and instruments, when you see and experience the atom, maybe neutron, electron, photon, and all, then your understanding will be different, isn't it? So similarly, when I'm speaking of Wonderla, Disney Park, or whatever, you might have heard all these things, fine, from your friends, or you might have read in the books or internet. But the moment you go and you, I mean, see the Wonderla, you watch and you experience the Wonderla or Disney Park, then your understanding will be totally different. So for that, similarly for the experience of the self, the author is trying to tell, if you hear and try to reflections you do, and still, if you are not able to experience it, if it is not the internalized, then you should go to nididhyasana. So, nididhyasana is what? Internalizing the Vedantic truth or experiencing the Vedantic truth through Vedantic meditation. So, that's what I'm saying. So, Atman is pure, Atman is eternal, Atman is indestructible, Atman is unperishable. We all heard from the based on Gita Upanishadic statements. Now I should start saying that I am that Atman. I am pure, I'm ever pure, I'm eternal, I am indestructible, I am imperishable, I am the ancient, I am free from birth and death. I cannot be killed by any weapon. I cannot be dried from the sunlight. I cannot be wet from the water. I cannot be dried from the air. So it is not that some other object, it is only I. So this internalization has to be done. Now, the author is trying to tell here is trying to classify at the broad classification is giving, because afterwards he goes still more deeper. He's telling there are two types of meditation. One is external meditation, the other is internal meditation. So what is this internal meditation and what is the external meditation? So when we are meditating on the thoughts and components, that is what internal meditation. When you are taking the help of particular object and when you are trying to concentrate your mind on external object, then it is called in general, it is called external meditation. So what are these two types of meditation? And it has got six types, and every type has got more classifications that we shall see in the 23rd verse. Savikalpo nirvikalpaha samadhihi dvivido rudi Drishya shabdanu vedena savikalpaha punardvividha. So now external and internal, bahya and antar, that is external and internal, he said. And among them, he is saying that there is a savikalpa and nirvikalpa. There are two types of meditation. Savikalpa, nirvikalpa, vivido rudi. Even when we are meditating, it is savikalpa and nirvikalpa. And again, they are based on the association with the objects. And again, it has been classified into two more groups. What is that? Let us try to see. So just he mentions there what it is, he tries to explain in the 24th verse. In samadhi, if it is associated with an object, what it is, in the 24th verse, he is explaining. Now, probably I will give the whole chart, then I will go into the discussions, then probably it will be easy. Samadhi means here concentration, contemplation, or meditation. Vedantic contemplation or Vedantic meditation. So first it has been classified into, Vedantic meditation has been classified into two types. One is external, bahya. The other is antar, that is internal. So the contemplation has been classified into two types. One is external, the other is internal. And now the external type of meditation is been again classified into two groups, subclassified into two groups. One is savikalpa, the other is nirvikalpa. Similarly, even the internal antar meditation, antara or internal meditation is also classified into two types, savikalpa and nirvikalpa. That means we have got four types of meditation: savikalpa, nirvikalpa with antara, that is external, and savikalpa, nirvikalpa with the external, that is bahya. And wait, not over. One more classification is there. Then with the savikalpa meditation, with the bahya savikalpa meditation, again that has been classified into two more group. One is object associated and the other is word associated. Object associated and the word associated. Then what about nirvikalpa samadhi? Nirvikalpa there is no classification. So similarly, in the Antara Savikalpa Samadhi also, object and word association. So meditation has been classified into two groups, two types. One is external, the other is internal. And both the external and internal are classified into two types. Again, what is that? External has got Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa, and the internal also contains Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. So Savikalpa, Nirvikalpa in the external, Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa in the internal. So four types has been done. So in the Savikalpa, not in the Nirvikalpa, in the Savikalpa, again it has been subclassified into two. One is object associated, the other is word, not world, word associated. So in the Savikalpa Bahya, external to object world, and in the internal Savikalpa object and world. So totally 6 type of meditation techniques as will be taught in the Drishya Viveka. This is one of the unique meditation technique which we see only in the Drishya Viveka. So Antardrushya Savikalpa Samadhi, Antardrushya Savikalpa Samadhi, Antardrushya Nirvikalpa Samadhi, then Antardrushya Savikalpa Samadhi, Bahya Savikalpa Samadhi. Like that, 6 types it becomes. So what it is, we shall try to understand. So now, 24th verse, the author is trying to tell object meditation. If you remember, meditation is there, then external and internal. And in the external internal, again, it is subclassified into Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. And in the Savikalpa, there has been subclassified into object associate meditation and the word associated meditation. So now here, object associate meditation has been explained in the 24th verse with the Savikalpa. Let us try to see. कामाद्यश्चित्तगा दृश्याः तत् साक्षित्वेन चेतनम् ध्याये दृश्यानु विद्धोयं समाधिः savikalpakah. Desire and etc. are centered in the mind, are to be treated as cognizable objects. Meditate on consciousness as the witness. This is what is called savikalpa samadhi associated with objects. See, there's a beauty in this particular verse. I told 6 types of meditation has been given by the author. This is very unique for Drishya Viveka only. In no other Vedantic text, this type of meditation techniques has been taught. Now he has taken, among the 6 types, he has taken one, Savikalpa he has taken, and with the Shabda, with the object, Vastu. What it is, when the moment when we say object, immediately we remember maybe water, or maybe an object, maybe a phone or a telephone or a mobile or a particular, maybe like some grains or whatever. Here the author is telling that no, object means here it is only thought. For example, a desire has been aroused in the mind. Immediately we get caught over and will be pulled over by the desire. But instead of that, be as a witness and start observing the thought. Start observing as a desire. You are separate from desire, and just you are observing, start observing the desire, and you don't get attached with the desire, attachment, hatred, aversion, any type of thought may be, any type of thought, it is what object according to the author here. So object means it is not the external object, here it is internal. Whatever the thought arises in the mind, consider it as an object, and you be the witness, you start experiencing it. The same idea has been given beautifully in the Bhagavad Gita in the 13th chapter, Kshetra, Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga. Kshetra is body, field. Kshetragna is what the person who is indweller. So I am different from the Kshetra body. So I am different from the mind. I am different from the thoughts. So similarly, here they are telling that you are the witness and you start observing your own thought in your own mind, not in someone's mind, in your own mind. And the question may come, why is it required? And by this, how it helps us to realize the truth that I am that Brahman. So it is Antardrushya Anuvidya Savikalpa Samadhi actually. This is the type of meditation here. Generally in Vedanta, they give few standard examples. One of the example I will give you, then you will be able to understand. Now, I am sitting in a room. Or probably, say for an example, I am sitting in a hotel. I'm a cashier, I'm sitting in a hotel. Now, from morning to evening, so many people are coming. Some come and they take a cup of coffee and go. Some they come and cup of tea and they go. And some come and they will have their breakfast. Some they will have a lunch. So you are able to see so many people, and they come and they pay the bill, and you are receiving the money. Fine. So many people come and so many people go. Most of them you don't remember. But if there are any interesting people in their own way, then only you may remember few of them. For some time afterwards, slowly memory fades and you will forget. There is no wonder in that. But the Vedanta says that you are able to perceive so many people. Fine. Why? Why? Because I'm living and my sense organs, my eye sense organ is working, so I'm able to perceive them. Yeah, that's all true. But more than that, there is a phenomenon, there is a thing, supporting thing, which is called light. If there was no light, we were not able to perceive so many people. I perceived so hundreds of people, never mind. But to perceive that you need eye, you have to be living fine. But because with the help of the light, you perceived all of them. Without the help of the light, you are unable to perceive, isn't it? Yes, but we forget that the background, the light, which was the support for all of us to perceive. I mean, for me to perceive so many people, we forget. And we are only bothered about so many people coming and going, but we don't recognize or we don't think about the light, which is the background for our perception. So here you see there's a shift in our vision, there's a shift in our thinking. Then the Vedantic teachers, they say that, so you start feeling that you are that light. So many people coming and going, fine, but there's a light which is standard ones, which is not affected, and you start feeling that you are that light. Okay? You start feeling that you are that light, fine. Then what happens? Then the next is the light is not contaminated. And the light is not a part. The light is not a product. The light is not contaminated. The light has not, it doesn't have any parts. And it is pure. And it doesn't get changed, isn't it? So similarly, when you able to attribute all these properties, or you are able to perceive with these properties, then you'll be able to slowly you will separate yourself from the name and form or the world or the thoughts and the objects, and you will be able to experience who are you. This is what the one of the Vedantic meditation which has been given in the 24th verse. Antadrushya anuviddha savikalpa samadhi. That's a technical word. Don't bother about, oh, what is that Sanskrit? Such a big statement. It is nothing but, similarly now, so many thoughts are coming. Suddenly, like I'm sitting myself, closing my eyes and sitting in a posture, and I'm trying to observe my mind. Suddenly, a chocolate thought came. Immediately, if I'm not conscious, oh, chocolate, I would like to eat chocolate. Okay, I go to a Spar or Aldi and I'll purchase chocolate and I'll eat. Because why? I am attaching myself with the chocolate. But whereas if you keep yourself separate from the chocolate, a chocolate thought came and chocolate thought went. Then you were liking some person, maybe your family people or relatives or friends. So that thought related with a person came. It came, you didn't pay any attention to it, you are a witness, and that thought also went away. Then suddenly you remember some people troubled you, so that person came in the mind as a thought. Then again, you are witnessing, you are observing, that thought also came and it went. Means you didn't get attached to that thought, you didn't react to that thought, you were just the observer, you are the witness. So the chocolate thought came and went away. The person of your liking came and went away. It got subsided. And the person who hated you, or you hated him or her, he or she came and it also got subsided. But you are the witness, and there was no change in you actually. So, this is what the internal meditation with the objects. The moment when you keep on doing this, what happens slowly, the mind becomes calmer. The thoughts gets reduced. Your mind becomes calm, quiet, peaceful. Then you'll be able to experience who are you. How? Just for an example, when the water is shaky, we'll not be able to see its base. When the water becomes stagnant or when the water becomes without any disturbance, then we'll be able to see the below surface. So, similarly, when the mind becomes calm, then we'll be able to experience ourselves. Why we are asked to go to solitude? Why we are the earlier the people, especially monks and mendicants, they used to go to the seclusions or the forests or the deserts, desert fathers and all. Why? Because when the external surroundings there is no disturbance, then I'll be able to understand my mind and I'll be able to know my internal disturbance, and I can try to quiet the mind, quiet my internal disturbance or whatever. So this is what there is a beautiful technique which has been given in the 24th verse. In the next coming class, let us try to understand what are the one or two types of Vedantic meditation techniques, and we shall try to put into practice. So the aim and goal, the aim of this Nididhyasana is what? The internalizing the concept or internalizing the Vedantic knowledge. When we say that Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi, or when we hear about Brahman, when we about your Sakshi, or when we about the Atman, we feel that that is something outside, the third object, the entity, and I'm different from that. I'll be go on seeing it as an object. No, the author is trying to tell it, you are that. Start feeling that I am that Brahman. I am that ever pure. That is my nature. I am free. I am pure. I am indestructible. I am imperishable. Start feeling, start understanding, and start experiencing. So the internalizing our understanding, for that this Nididhyasana contemplation has been told. So in the from 22nd verse it started, in the 24th verse the first technique we have seen. Let us try to see a few more techniques in the forthcoming class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.